All right, we dropped off this worksheet. Still, part 3 of this one. It's the one with the cylinders that are tilted. Right here where that blue line is. Okay, we just have a few more. So let's start with which expression has a value that is a rational number. All right, so anytime it's which one, you do have to look at the answer choices. You have to work with the answer choices and figure out which one of those works. It's not something where there's just going to be one solution. Okay, rational means no pi, no I, and no radicals that can't be simplified. Okay, if it's square root of 25, no problem. That simplifies, it's 5. But if the final answer would have a radical in it, a pi in it, or an I in it, we got a problem. That's not rational. All right, so this one is square root of 10 plus 16. This one is 2 times the square root of 3, square root of 5 plus square root of 7. This one is square root of 9 plus square root of 4. And this one is square root of 3 plus 0. Okay, this is not rational. For one thing, I can't put them together. That's as simple as it gets. And I can't simplify square root of 10. So that's the final answer for A. And that's not rational because it has a radical that has a number under the radical that is not simplified. Can't be simplified any further. Okay, same thing happens here. If I do simplify this further, because this can go a little further, I get this. I can't go any further than that, and that's not rational. Part C, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 4 is 2. That's 5. That's perfectly rational. I can write it as a fraction anytime I want. This is rational. And last one is square root of 3, not rational. So your only answer choice is C. Next one, it says which statement is true? This is to the right. Which statement is true about the value of square root of 8 plus 4 times 4? Okay. It is rational because the product of two rational numbers is rational. Well, even if the product of two rational numbers is rational, this is not rational. And the products here is this whole thing times 4. This can be simplified, but it's still not going to be rational. Okay, so one of my numbers is square root 2 root 2 plus 4. That's one of my numbers in the product. And here's a rational number. So I've got an irrational number times a rational number. So product of two rational numbers, that's not even happening, so it's not A. B is it is rational because the product of a rational and an irrational is rational. That's a possibility. I am multiplying an irrational and a rational. But if I do multiply that, will I get a rational number? That's a question. So we've eliminated A. Let's look at C. It is irrational because the product of two irrational numbers is irrational. This is not two irrational. This is irrational times rational. Okay, let's even write that. Rational. Oops. Irrational, rational. Okay, and part D, so C is not true, and D says it is irrational because the product of an irrational number and a rational number is irrational. Okay, so it's either B or D. They're both right in saying that I'm multiplying an irrational times a irrational times a rational. But which is it? Is that going to come out rational or is that going to come out irrational? Well, the only way this would come out only way this would come out rational, it's like a tongue twister, is if I'm multiplying by something that's going to make that going to come out from underneath that radical. And the only thing that would make that happen is if this that I'm multiplying by had a square root of 2 in it. Because then I'd have square root of 2 times square root of 2, and that'd just be 2. This is not coming out of this radical. If I multiply it, I would have to do distributive property, and I would get 8 root 2, this is 4 times this, plus 16. Still irrational. So the product of an irrational and a rational is irrational. And that's answer choice D. So right here. So that was C, this one's D. Next one, let A be a non-zero rational number and B be an irrational number. Which of these must be rational? Okay. One thing you can do on this is you can make something up. You have to remember that you made it up. In other words, remember that it's not necessarily absolutely true that this is what A equals and this is what B equals. But it says A is a non-zero rational number, okay? Like, well, let's just say 3. It's not 0 and it's rational. And B is an irrational number. Let's say B is square root of 2. Okay? Which of these must be a rational number? B plus 0. No. Square root of 2 plus 0 is still square root of 2, so no, that's not rational. A plus A. 3 plus 3 is 6. A plus B. 3 plus square root of 2 is just 3 plus square root of 2. B plus B. Square root of 2 plus square root of 2 is 2 square roots of 2. The only one here, it says which one must be rational. Only one of them is rational. That's B. All right, dimensions of a rectangle are shown. It has a length of 5x plus 2 and a width of 3x plus 8. It asks me to find the perimeter. Remember that if it's a rectangle, opposite sides are the same. So I'm going to add these up. So 5x plus 3x plus 5x plus 3x, that's 16 x's. 2 plus 8 plus 2 plus 8 is 20. And that's my answer. Let's go directly below there. What is the product, bottom right corner, excuse me, of 7x minus 4 and 8x plus 5? 7x minus 4, 8x plus 5. 7x times 8x is 56x squared. 7x times 5 is 35x's. Negative 4 times 8x is negative 32x's. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. So I have 56x squared plus 3x minus 20. Okay, that's my answer, and that is choice C. Now we've got rewrite. We're coming back over here on the left. Rewrite the expression x cubed plus 2x squared minus x. Here's that minus in front of parentheses. You can bet you're going to see one on the EOCT. Remember to take that minus in front of parentheses. And when you drop the parentheses, you change this to plus, and every single sign behind there changes. So this would be x cubed. Negative, negative makes positive. Negative, positive makes minus 2x squared. Negative times a positive, minus 6. And nothing changes in front. So now I'm going to combine my like terms. X cubed and x cubed is 2x cubed. 2x cubed minus 2x squared minus 2x squared is no x squareds. Then I have a negative x and I have a negative 6, and that's my answer. Finally, we have the dimensions of a patio in feet are shown below. The length is 4x plus 1. The width is 2x minus 3. 4x plus 1, 2x minus 3. I'm going to multiply, which means FOIL. Two x times 4x is 8x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. Through negative 3x, negative 3 times 4x is negative 12x. And negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. So I have x squared minus 10x minus 3. And that's my answer. And finally, we're done with this worksheet. Sorry I had to break it into 3 parts. It was just that I was doing it during the school day, so like the bell would ring or something like that. Thanks for watching.